And that was clear, as I mentioned, with Rupert Lowe's example, where he was voicing this he was misquoted by the BBC and has been issued a full apology, which, you know, is quite surprising that they issued an apology, when he said that he called for the death penalty of foreign criminals and can't remember what else, but he said he called for the death penalty for domestic and foreign offenders. But the BBC didn't report that he said that it was for domestic offenders as well, trying to imply that he was calling for the death penalty for only foreigners, and he's since been issued an apology for that. But this is what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when he raised the death penalty issue in Parliament, which it does seem at the moment is a popular policy. I have my reservations about it for precisely this reason, as you'll hear now, and hopefully the audio mixing, the audio cleanup that we do isn't going to take it out. If I can, you might... oh, there we go. If it does, ladies and gentlemen, you won't need to worry about it, because I'll put the actual video as an edit in afterwards. They'll support the death penalty for the elderly, innocent elderly, in order to deprive them of the benefits and pensions that they were entitled to across all of their working life. They'll support abortion up until birth, so they'll support murder of the most innocent in our society, namely the unborn children, right? The most innocent. But yet you have grumbles, groans, and all of this stuff when they want to introduce it for criminals. This should show you, ladies and gentlemen, exactly where our politicians stand on the issue of justice and morality and all this, namely on the side of evil.
The reintroduction of the death penalty for both foreign and domestic criminals should be put to the British people in a legally binding referendum.
Did you hear it, ladies and gentlemen? Did you hear it? If not, I'll play it for you again now, and also in the editing section if the audio thing does its thing. Listen to this. Listen to the reaction at the introduction of the death penalty, reintroduction of the death penalty for foreign and domestic criminal.
The reintroduction of the death penalty for both foreign and domestic criminals should be put to the British people in a legally binding referendum.
Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. There's no other words for it. Absolutely disgusting. That just shows you exactly where they stand. They're more concerned with appeasing criminals and showing compassion and empathy to criminals than they are with the killing of their own elderly at the end of their life, so that they don't have to pay the benefits out that they're owed and the pensions that they're owed, so that they can use it to fund more hotels and give it to more foreigners, their desired voting bloc, right? And then the most innocent in our society, the unborn children, right? But yet when you want to say, oh yeah, let's off some criminals, they have serious qualms with that. Shows you a lot, doesn't it? And ultimately, everything that we're seeing here, like we saw with the first example of the Japanese communist leader, a Labour MP, has now basically gone on TV and said, yep, we're not going to be doing anything that we said that we would. Everything that we said that we would do or whatever, we're not going to do. We've had to break manifesto commitments. We're going to break the manifesto commitments. We never should have done. Like, oops, oopsies. We never should have made those manifesto commitments. Oopsies. Nothing bad, right? We're all good. We're all good, right? Native British people and everything. Yeah, you're still going to vote for us. Yeah. Oh, if not, we'll just import more. It don't matter. Don't worry. But yeah, we're not going to do anything that we said we would. You know, all the things that got you to vote for us, even though only a minority of you voted for us. Yeah, but we're just going to go ahead and do whatever we want. We're accountable to no one, which is ultimately how obviously they see it, right? So Labour MP, where's his name? Chris Curtis, I believe of Preston. I'm not exactly sure where he's from, but I believe it's on BBC News Night. And he says, we're going to have to break manifesto commitments. We shouldn't have made those things. We're probably going to have to increase income tax. Just goes to show they never ever cared about keeping their word, ladies and gentlemen. Everything that they've done, it seems that they said that they were not going to do. Right, but ultimately, a lot of us already expected this. A lot of us already expected nothing but lies and broken promises from Labour, right? Because especially in Wales, the last 26 years, that's all we've been given. That's all we've been given, pretty much. And now they feel comfortable enough saying this on national TV.
No, they didn't. They didn't have to make those commitments at all. I doubt it moved the dial in the slightest.
So are you frustrated that this has now become this enormous political issue because she's going to have to break the manifesto?
We probably are going to have to make the manifesto commitments. We shouldn't have made those commitments, but look, we are where we are, and where we are is probably going to have to raise taxes, probably income tax in the budget, but we're going to have to do the right thing, and we're going to have to make sure we build up enough fiscal headroom so that people know that this is the last time and the last budget that we have to make difficult decisions, and we need to continue all of the work to ensure that we get the British economy.
No, they
didn't have to make that.
They've lied, they've broken promises, they've lied, they've now openly said that they're going to need to break more promises and break their election manifesto commitments. Why should we believe them that this is going to be the last time that they're going to have to do that? Why should we believe them that this is going to be the last time that they're going to have to do that? It's just complete and utter. This is absolutely shameless. This is absolutely shameless. I don't even know what to say. The first female, was it Chancellor of the Exchequer or whatever it is, or Treasurer, I can't remember what exact role she is. It's little I even care at this point. The whole point about her, though, being the first woman to do it, the first woman to get there, and this is where we are. Smashing the glass ceiling, feminists. Smashing the glass ceiling and smashing the country to pieces as you do so. Smashing the already smashed reputation of your own party into pieces as well. Well done. Well done. You should be extremely, extremely proud. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, for today, number one, seemingly not good and virtuous thing is the way that the government is squandering the British taxpayers' money. This is something that came as a really big shock, and whoever the cancellation for today, coming at the end of the episode, is whoever signed off on the £5.2 million of British taxpayers' money that was sent to Ethiopia to develop the quote-unquote Ethiopian Spice Girls. No, I am not lying to you, ladies and gentlemen. That is an actual thing that our government spent money on. The millions, tens of millions that the Welsh government is spending for trees in Uganda, right? All of the foreign aid, the 90 million that they can spend in Pakistan to try and combat child abuse, but they can't even spend an iota of that, and not even just the time, attention to solving Pakistani-induced child abuse in their own country. £5.2 million of British taxpayers. Not to mention all the others that go to promoting LGBT inclusivity in Pakistan or whatever else, right? The Ethiopian Spice Girls, which aim to enhance the role of women through music and performance. This goes to show the government is ultimately responsible, but the university's pushing through these garbage education products, which Charlotte Gill is a great example if you want to know more about that, but queer performativity and all of this stuff, and how Newcastle University had this big thing about combating stereotypes and queerness and all this stuff. I can't remember the exact one it is. The universities are pumping through these programs to the tunes of tens of thousands of pounds per project, per PhD project, right? Every single semester. This is got to be into the realms of like hundreds of £1 million in cons, or at least tens of millions pounds in cons, on our domestic soil, the way that these academic institutions have become so ideologically corrupted. But then you have 5.2 million being sent to Ethiopia to develop the quote-unquote Ethiopian Spice Girls, which aim to develop and enhance the role of women through music and performance. I think I speak for at least the vast majority of people when I say I don't think the British public should be funding to the tune of any price for any reason enhancing the role of women through music and performance by funding the Ethiopian Spice Girls. This is just emblematic of the government will seemingly do everything other than tackle our actual problems. And I'm wondering, what the hell they have to gain from this? Where's the money being laundered? How is it getting back to them? What are they doing? They're giving it to the Ethiopian leadership, it would seem. What are they getting back from them? Presumably more of these doctors and lawyers and surgeons and gynecologists and all the rest of it, right? I'm just going to let I can't even speak. I'm just going to let the clip play for itself.
It's a bit like are we going to be sending money to North Korea next or Russia? Where does it go from here?
And also sending money to the Chinese to teach them how to grow rice is a bit like them sending us money to teach us how to make fish and chips or something. It's ridiculous. Anyway, just before we go to break, for your edification, Dr. Kisley, £5.2 million in 2017 went to Ethiopia to help them develop or create their own version of the Spice Girls. Their Ethiopian girl band was called Yegna, which means hours in Ethiopian. So, you know, that's a good use of our money, isn't it?
What do viewers think of that? I'd love to know. If people could phone in, I'd really love to know.
Well, yeah, there's a very good question. Listen to the doctor, folks. What do you think about this? I mean, specifically, we're talking about...
I don't think they're going to have the same impact, same cultural relevance. I'm reading the comments on the post, ladies and gentlemen, because I was trying to think up some funny, because you have to laugh or you cry. You have to laugh or you'll cry. There's plenty of things to cry about, but, you know, stiff upper lip, and in many instances, laugh about it as a coping mechanism. Laugh your way out of depression in many instances. Somebody put in the comments, Ethiopian Spice Girls, what are they called? Rice, sand, and flip-flop. I was trying to think up some funny ones, but yeah, I don't know enough about Ethiopian names and culture and whatever else to try and think up some funny names. I tell you what, I hope Stephen Crowder gets hold of this story. He tends to be being quick-witted and being able to think up some funny things with regards to things like this. But this is why the clip that I put up on YouTube earlier was about the UK being a laughingstock on the world stage. We imprison people for memes and speech, right? We have foreigners dominating all of our public positions, right? There's you go on TV, you very rarely see a British person anymore. We have been possibly the biggest purveyors of civilizational suicide through our governance, right? Through this true leftist emasculation, right? And we are being mocked for it. We are a mockery on the world stage. We are a mockery on the world stage. Funny enough, somebody commented on one of the shorts I released a little while ago, literally yesterday, saying that, yeah, I'm a Brit living in the US and Britain, the UK, is an absolute laughingstock. But the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing really to be laughing about. All this is happening. There's gangs operating right now. Literally, as I'm saying this right now, and as you are watching it right now, there's a gang preying on young girls somewhere, right? There's police in cahoots with them. There's a victim of these gangs crying with her family because she's having flashbacks about all the things that she went through and the fact the National Enquiry is being done. There's somebody languishing in prison for a meme, right? Someone in prison for something which they said on social media. Or somebody being stalked or followed by police. Somebody having an undue call from police. There's people languishing in hotels that shouldn't be here, that linger at the window or lingering outside the hotels, preying on children, illegal delivery drivers and so on. There's possibly a woman being broken into a house right now by a delivery driver to have her and her baby have a miscarriage as a result of it. It's no laughing matter. All the while, many people from these areas of the world openly champion our destruction, literally saying, if you don't like us here and if you don't like the way that it is, then off to another country. This is your home. No, it's not your home. It's our home now. And we don't care whether you like it or not. It's us or them. And it is a matter of life or death, ladies and gentlemen. That's the untold story of £5.2 million of British taxpayer money being spent to Ethiopia to fund the Ethiopian Spice Girls. And that'll do it for today. If you enjoyed that clip, then make sure to go on over to the Voice of the Valleys X page at VOT_Valleys on X. We're also on Instagram at Voice of the Valleys. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, all of that good stuff. Thank you so much, and we'll see you again soon. Godspeed.